Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. This will be part 28 in our playthrough as Egypt series. If you remember last episode, you could see that we did take more frigates land, which is really been what we're doing mostly, pretty much all the episodes lately. But today we are going to change it up. You can see we do want to fabricate clan because we do not have a truce with these guys yet, but that will be for probably next episode, or maybe in a couple. But we are actually declaring war on the Seleukid Empire, and more specifically, these guys right here, because with our mission, we already have a claim. And so essentially, what's our reasoning for declaring war on the Seleukid Empire? They are big, but they do have 300 less territories than us. But militarily wise, they do have around an equal amount of troops because we are paying an absurd amount to wages. You can see they're paying 42 and we are paying 99. That's mostly because we have a bunch of small armies that all cost around 4 in wages. Anyway, though, so most of their armies are most likely going to be probably around here. And it's going to take around a year probably to march all the way over here through hot, deserty, mostly uninhabitable land. And so what that means is that if we could probably take all this land relatively easily. There's literally no forts. I think this is like the only fort in the area. Actually, we can check. Looks like there's a couple of them, not all in Seleukid land, although that is a pretty crucial fort considering that does block us. But all this land right here, after we take out this one fort, as well as these guys, or this fort, is all kind of free for taking until the Seleukid army arrives. And so what we are going to be doing is just moving some troops. We'll move these two armies over here. And so essentially, let's assemble all the armies, and we'll come back once they're assembled. So the last of the troops are getting into position. As you can see, there are two armies all the way up there, which we should actually kind of ship downwards. Although I did see a Seleukid navy of 8, bringing an army of 8,000 all the way up there. For what reason, I have no idea, but they just decided to do that for some reason. So what we are going to do is declare war. You can see that we're going to completely get overkill in this area. What we're going to do is ideally destroy this army, and then we can move one or two of those armies down here to the actual where the fighting is going to be, or at least most of the fighting. And you can see this is part of the Seleukid Empire as well, though it is kind of blocked in by frigate. And so we are all set to declare war, and well, we can go ahead, declare war. You can see that, well, some of our allies are going to join. Starfish Nation, unfortunately, is just low, which is kind of sad. That's mostly because of the aggressive expansion, which you can see is, well, to the subject states minus 31, which is a lot, I guess. And so we'll go, okay, you see, become any more leader. That doesn't really matter to us. We are really trying to declare war on the Seleukid Empire. And this is the war goal, so taking this will give us a lot of war score, or at least won't detract a ton from our war score. And so we'll put all of these troops on infantry operations. You can see only 82,000. You see there is another 35,000 right here, and some of these troops we should probably ship back. And if necessary, we can always hire some mercenaries. We are going up a lot of money, and not as much as we were, because it looks like we have a ton more in wages for some reason. And we do have a ton of manpower, a lot more than the Seleucids, meaning that we have just about triple their manpower, so we can spend quite a few of that, though ideally we don't really have to. And so looks like completely took out that army, and looks like they're going to try and attack us, although game looks a bit confused, saying we'll win here, or might win at least, and then we might win up there. So it looks like they caught there, which was better because they were bigger than us if they had caught us down here. And so we'll send this army while in infantry operations. It's not super needed considering that there is a fort right here. We'll order you to stay there. And oh, Seleukid. Found the Seleukid Empire army. That at least we didn't have to hunt for them. All of you are coming down here, and whichever one of you I was going to send up there is being, well, withdrawn, I guess, over to here. Change of plans, nothing really we can do for these guys. They did kill some troops though, which is nice. Weaken them a bit. It looks like they did split up, which is a terrible decision on their part. So our troops are all heading down, and we should be able to catch them completely unawares. There's not really too much of a path for them to escape. See, there's only kind of 2 ways, well, 3 ways. And we'll actually stop this army right here because we don't want them to catch these guys before most of these guys arrive. Looks like these guys are going to retreat into this province right here, and are then going to be defeated again. They are literally 0 morale, and we did lose that entire army, which is actually really bad. That's not very good for us. So we're definitely going to want to do something about that. Looks like, I believe, Bactra, yep, has sent an army. They've taken this land, and we no longer have sight of the other Seleukid Empire army. So that's not the best, but they are heading this way to our less powerful, I suppose, parts of our army. And so, disloyal. I see. Looks like we have a lot of our generals, not very powerful generals, but 2 of them at least, are slow. We are going to want to recruit some more troops, which we could do down here, starting with 1 archer. They only take 45 days to recruit. Same with light cavalry, but archers is always a good idea to have them in your army. And looks like they are going to potentially escape this way, so we can either engage them and hope that these guys can get there in time, or we can let them go and defeat these guys. If we can catch them there, then we'll be fine. Okay, we can catch them there. Looks like they have not very much morale. These reinforcements ideally would get there at some point. There we go. As we were able to win, and well, the Bactra's army is turning heels, and looks like we need a new general for our new Stratos, and we are going to probably make it pretty big. Very much. We might just split in 2, but it's easier to make, well, 1 army rather than like 2 armies. And so let's recruit some more light infantry, and then we'll order these guys to head up here. The Seleukid army empire, is retreating down here. Well, it is a Seleukid army, and looks like we are defeated. The guys laying siege have been taken out. That is not very good for us. Claim fabricated. That's okay, but not really super necessary right now. That the navy is a lot bigger than ours. We definitely want to get those reinforcements coming down. Looks like we did not get a war with their allies. However, we did get a war with their states, got their troops over really fast. It's probably because they were at war with Iberia. That's why they have a truce, or they used to when I was getting ready for this video. Anyway, though, so these guys are going to head down here. Ideally take out that army. So these guys are kind of not big people. You know, there's a lot more things that you can do that'd be actually helpful instead of reinforcing them. But I mean, like, they want to, they can, I suppose. And we won the first siege. That is the war goal right here. Let's put these guys on. Actually, I will control them and tell them to go try and take out this army. Just because they're bigger than us, they are in, like, 0 morale pretty much. Although, I believe we are at war with Barbarian Revolt. Those are mercenaries. Yep, because their only army was destroyed by us. So if these guys weren't disloyal, they would become unloyal. Actually, I think General 3rd Stratus is still disloyal. Maybe they're just gonna do what I want. For once. Okay, defeated. That was our... Okay, one sec. Someone defeated someone. Believe. You know, I really should have hit go to. I think it was probably somewhere over here. I don't know why our recruiting troops were recruited all the way up here. I'm sure there's plenty of, people to recruit down here. Though I guess that's what the game wanted to do. And to victory, looks like they probably won a tough battle. That does happen, and that is good. Looks like, yeah, that was a pretty even battle. Relatively. Even in terms of casualties, definitely. And so these guys should hopefully finish up soon. Looks like there is a 43% chance. And so I'll just keep going up. And put these guys, or at least the ones who aren't as low, on imp operations. And no, that's you should probably be a good choice not to do that. That would be a terrible choice. To go the other direction from the army that is like 5 times bigger than yours. At least in terms of morale, definitely. And now you're dead. Well, I'll put these guys on independent operations for what it's worth. Maybe the AI can save them. And so these guys are gonna... How long have you guys been sitting here for? Probably a while. We'll put all of you on independent operations. Not... Well, these guys are disloyal. So you two armies can be on independent operations. Unless you would enjoy laying siege to this fort, which would be very helpful for us. Because once we have that fort, it's really easy pickings for the rest of the Seleukid Empire, in this area at least. As long as we can all drive back their armies. So we won the siege, which is great. So now all of our armies, except for these guys, which have been sitting on a ship for probably... No, do not recruit mercenary. Though they are pretty good mercenaries. And we are pretty wealthy. Or rich. Okay, we're going to recruit those mercenaries. You can get on the ship. And hopefully in the time that it takes for us to sail down, your morale will go up. And so, we'll have them go there. Hopefully we don't get caught by a Seleukid Empire Navy. There is those 8 cohorts that I was talking about earlier. We'll actually try and sink them. Because ideally, that'd be actually really, really annoying if they just parked a cohort somewhere on our land, and then we had to send an army all the way up there. It's a pretty long commute. And so we should be able to completely destroy them. Yep, completely taken out. Lost those 8,000 cohorts, but I doubt that's too bad of a thing for the Seleukid Empire. I don't know what those guys were really doing. And you. Okay. So you're going to go in between these two armies. I see. And then when both armies charge towards you, you will. So that's my fault. Anyway. You guys are not going to do that. That is a bad choice. I know that it's taken by them, but there's also a big army there, and it would benefit us if, well, for you to finish doing that. And it looks like there are some barbarians, which is pretty bad timing. We could pay them off, or create tribal vassal, which we don't really want to do. That'll just give them these 2 tiles and make them tribal vassal, in which really pretty useless to us. And so we'll try and pay them off. Let's see. They would enjoy 4. That is quite a large amount of money. Let's see. Demand their surrender. They're not going to do that because we've not fought them mostly and settle. Well, I mean, we don't really need them to do that. So what we're going to do, ideally, looks like they currently have that much. And we're going to hit OK. We don't really want to deal with them because any force that we have to send down there is a force that we could have been using for taking out the Seleucids. We'll put that army on independent operations. They've been paid off, and they're going to blaze the army since they are low in morale. That's what armies will typically do, is go hide somewhere. And so we'll put them all the way up here because they are going to regenerate. And once our navy arrives, it looks like they have lost some men, hopefully mostly mercenaries, so we don't have to pay for that in manpower. We are down actually 16,000. We've lost just about exactly 20,000 troops more than them, and so that's not the best, although their manpower is significantly less than ours. You see they only have 25,000 right now compared to our 111,000. So if this war keeps going, it looks like we both equally hate each other at the maximum amount possible. So if this war keeps going, then, well, we'll be able to outlast them. And so if we completely take out that army, we'd be able to do that. You are actually still planning on doing that. I know I did not say you couldn't technically. And so we are going to pause it right here, and then we're going to resume with this war next episode, starting off in episode 29. The reason we're not doing that in the actual video while I was recording this is because I had absolutely no idea how we're going to split this up. But so thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.